Why keyword research is vital for your SEO success. Hey, I'm Sam Dunning, co-owner over at webchoiceuk.com and host of the Top 100 Marketing Podcast, Business Growth Show. If you haven't yet, check out our weekly email where I'm sharing actionable web and marketing tips, useful podcasts, free resources, and much, much more each and every Monday so you can start your week off with a bang. Give it a try over at businessgrowth.email. So when it comes to SEO, many companies want to get stuck straight into things like creating content, creating articles, distributing them onto industry relevant sites, and building up juicy backlinks in the hope that it's going to push up their website's organic rankings, ramp up their traffic, and ramp up their sales leads, their revenue, their brand visibility, or whatever they want to get out of the SEO, the search engine optimization campaign, to increase their organic rankings on Google. However, without a solid keyword strategy focused around the main search terms you actually want to drive traffic for, so maybe it's around your main product, your main services, main locations you serve, or whatever it may be, without that in place first, your results could be hindered. So what I'm going to share today is how you can consider different parts of keyword research, from thinking about people at the top of their journey, at the start of their journey, top of the sales funnel, right through to the bottom of the sales funnel for people ready to search for what you do and needing your help right here, right now. So let's jump straight into it. So first off, let's talk about some of the tools that you can use to help when it comes to SEO keyword research. So you can use things like Ahrefs, SEMrush, Google Keyword Planner, or Neil Patel's tool Ubersuggest. Why would you want to use these? Well, these are great tools for looking into things like how much traffic each search term, each keyword gets. So you can literally type in a keyword into there and it will tell you how much monthly traffic it gets in US, UK, EU, worldwide, whatever country you want to look into. You can also do competitor research. So you can look into what search terms your competitors are ranking for, what they're targeting, and work out if certain keywords perhaps are even too competitive, or if there's gaps, niches, little ways in that you can tap into to make your SEO campaign a success. And you can also realize where your website stands right now. So tools like SEMrush, Ahrefs will tell you your current domain authority. So how well recognized your site is on Google. It'll tell you how many backlinks you've got right now. And it will also tell you the main search terms that are driving the percentages of your traffic to your site right now. So you can know areas that are doing well and areas that might need improvement. So consider using these tools. The only thing I would say is that keyword traffic isn't the be all end all, because some search terms that we'll talk about shortly, they might just be for people that are looking up queries that don't necessarily have that intent to buy, or sometimes very, very specific, what we call long tail keywords can be great to talk about and target as well. So we'll jump into that now. So I'm going to talk about the 3 different levels of consideration that you need to look into when it comes to SEO keyword research. First and foremost, we've got top of the sales funnel. So this is typically for someone that's not ready to buy your stuff right now. They're at the early research or consideration stages. So to give you an actionable example, at Web Choice, those might be web development, how to find the best web design company, what to consider when building a lead generation website, how to build a mobile first design, all these different things that people will look up to get ideas, inspiration, or even try and do it themselves. So one good way to come up with these kind of search terms is to actually think about, are there questions I get asked on sales calls? Are there things that current customers ask me a lot? Do I get these queries on social media or other platforms I'm on from prospects, from customers? And then create content on your site, articles, blog posts, information pages, videos, all that good stuff to answer these questions. And you can consider targeting a few of these in your keyword strategy. And the reason it's good is because over time, it's going to position you as an authority, because if you're constantly showing up on Google for answering these questions, being a useful resource to prospects, it'll build trust. And if they are checking out articles on your website around these topics, if they find you on page 1, click through to your site, they might sign up to your email list. They might carry on reading other pages on your site. They might download a lead magnet or a guide or a video, or they might even refer friends to you that need your help. Or when they are ready, they might get in touch and become a sales lead. Next up, we've got the middle of the funnel searches. So this is quite often for people that are comparing options. So let's say you're an accounting software provider. They might be searching things like Xero versus QuickBooks, or in our case, they might be searching things like DIY website builder versus agency, or do SEO yourself versus hiring company. These kind of things where people have realized that they probably need the offering, but they're not yet ready to commit. They want to do that little bit more research. They're about halfway there. Perhaps they're comparing companies, perhaps they're comparing doing it themselves. So you can think about, again, what are common competitors that come up in sales conversations? What are things people often bring up on sales calls? And then once you've thought about those search terms, you've researched them with the tools we talked about, then creating that content on your site, the articles, the information pages, the podcasts, the videos, the infographics that can go on your site to address these points and tackle those objections. And again, the reason it's useful is because it can help people on their buying journey, give them the assurance they need, answer those questions, and then position yourself as the right offering for what they need. And lastly, we've got keywords for people at the bottom of the sales funnel. So typically people that are ready to speak to sales, that have high intent to buy what you do. So based on the fact you appear page one towards the top of organic search results on Google, you have a good chance to get the lead or get the sale from this prospect on the basis that your website can actually attract them, build trust with them, and then convert them. So this, to give you some examples for web choice, we've got web development company, organic page one results in the UK right now. So this gives us quite a steady flow of inquiries. But if you're an accountancy software provider, maybe you'll rank for things like best accountancy software or best accountancy software for small business. Or if you're a CRM provider, maybe you're looking for things like small business CRM provider or best CRM company. So when someone types this in, rather than just typing what we talked about before, web development or CRM, they probably just want to learn more, find out tips, find out tricks about the practice. But when they add that extra query into the search term, making it a bit more what's called longer tail, so best accountancy company or web development company or small business CRM company, that little bit shows they've got the intent, shows they actually need the help of your offering of your service. So really think about those high buying intent, bottom of the sales funnel searches for your company. Use those tools we've talked about to find out what search data they get, how much traffic they drive. And I'd probably place most emphasis on this part of your keyword research because ultimately you want to drive sales qualified leads or you want to drive revenue if you're e-commerce. So it's going to be a big chunk, a big piece of the puzzle, not to neglect the top of funnel and middle of funnel, as they'll still come into play. They're great for building brand awareness, building brand loyalty, building reputation over time and getting those referrals. But remember that the buying intent is going to be a big piece of the puzzle. So when it comes to your strategy, make sure you've got plenty of those search terms that are going to help you rank over time. Now, the thing to consider is that top of the funnel searches, quite often you'll be able to rank reasonably quick for perhaps a few months, depending on how competitive the query is. Middle of the funnel might be somewhere in between, depending on, again, how competitive the search term is. Quite often, bottom of the funnel searches are competitive unless you're in an industry. Perhaps you're serving a local area, perhaps your niche doesn't have many competitors, but quite often if you're a national or worldwide business, this is what a lot of your competitors will be looking at. So again, use these keyword research tools to see if there's any gaps, any areas that you can pinpoint that perhaps your competitors aren't doing right now, that you know that people have told you that they're searching for, and then go at them and start driving that qualified high buying intent traffic to your site. And then once you've finalized your list of target keywords, then you can move on to the next step. So typically that's on-site or on-page SEO, things like doing a technical audit of your site and a content audit of your site. So technical things are making sure your page speed is nice and quick, under 2 seconds or close to 1 second, making sure your website works smoothly on mobile PC, making sure you've got things like information pages for the relevant search terms. So if someone searches something, they're getting served up content that's relevant to them, not just sending everyone to your homepage, but giving them really quality content that answers their questions, objections, gives them useful bits of information like videos, infographics, useful data points, question and answers. So it's going to help them along their journey, building that trust and then pointing them to conversion with clear call to actions, guiding them to book that demo, get in touch or make the purchase. So making sure on-page technical side of things, metadata, page headings, structure, all that is in place. And also the content side of things lines up with those search terms and giving a great user experience, answering people's questions and all that good points. And once you've nailed the on-site SEO, then you can move on to what we've talked about at the very start, building up content, building up articles, distributing them on industry relevant sites, and building up quality backlinks. And now you've got a clear strategy. You know the keywords you want to rank for. Everything can be in line with those. Rather than doing random stuff, it can be focused on the search terms that are actually going to drive revenue, build up your web traffic, build up inbound leads, and build up your company growth. And there we go. I hope this summary of keyword research has been helpful. If you're on YouTube, hitting that subscribe button is really appreciated. Or if you're on the audio podcast, a quick rating or review, I'd be really thankful for. And with that, I shall catch you on the next episode. Cheers.